In this video, the final result will be shown, and the group will show the final design. Also, 5 questions will be answered. Question number 1. Why is the design like that? 2. What are the different components and how do they work together? 3. What is the purpose of having the chassis so close to the ground? Number 4. How do the design of the chassis and the original suspension work together? And number 5. What are the issues faced by the group in the design process of the car?
To answer the question number 1, we're gonna use Pro Engineer. So in this case, what we're gonna have is our principal design or outside design of the car. So the principal or the main thing is to remove the old outside design, or what we know as the chassis, and we're gonna create our own in this thing. We did the design like this because of several reasons. The first thing is based on the idea of strutting. The Cesaretti car has no ceiling, and we base the idea on that too. But our first reason is to assemble all the main components into the car. We designed it with no ceiling for us to be more capable of assemble the top chassis, the traction, the suspension, and all of that.
The holes make the car more dynamic, smooth, and gives it a modern look. It also helps to make it weightless and have the necessary support.
So the main thing we did is to add these components on the main design of the car, which is gonna give the support for all the main components of the traction, rear and front. Also, we're gonna add the suspension into another part, which is gonna be supported by the chassis itself in both tractions, both front and rear.
To answer question number 2, the transmitter sends a control signal to the receiver using radio waves, which then drives the motor, causing a specific action to occur. The motor in the car causes the wheels to turn. The motor converts electricity into motion to move the wheels. Okay, so the outer casing keeps all the components in one piece. The inner casing protects small components. The batteries supply power to the radio control car. The front lever, wheels, and axle allow car to turn and to keep moving. The rear wheels and axle allow the car to move forward and backward. The springs act as shock absorbers. To answer this question, having the chassis close to the ground adds to the aerodynamics of the car. When cars travel at high speeds, they need to be extremely stable. Having a low ride height attributes toward a low center of gravity, which leads to better handling. The low center of gravity means the car can take sharp turns at high speed without flipping over. When the chassis is closer to the ground, less air passes under the car when driving, which further keeps the car sticking to the ground.
Okay, so the first thing we need to know is that once we have to add the outside design or the chassis, as we know, is that the several parts are not gonna take their place correctly. For example, we can see over here that the suspension itself is not gonna be touching something. Right now it's just touching something over there. So our main thing, or the thing that we're gonna do, is to change the position of the suspension itself. So instead of being here, we're gonna change it over here, since some components are gonna be just take other places. So in this case, we already assembled the main design of the car with an additional an additional fit, which is gonna support all the main components of the suspension on the front traction and the rear traction.
To answer the last question, are 3 different issues that we faced on this project. First is the pieces. Some of the pieces are really tiny, so when we wanted to put back together in the original suspension, we have to be extremely careful because one of the most difficult parts was to accurately all of the parts together in the right place. Second bullet, measure. Have to be careful when we measure the pieces because the pieces can be easily deformed with the caliper. So then at the moment of the assembly have to be a really difficult thing. And finally, the design. As a team project, we had a lot of different ideas about how to do a better radio control car and which are the way to do that. But finally, we combined all our ideas in the Cesaretti radio control car.